Now there's a new book that's come out by Jay Hoberman where he talks about the undergrounds, and I felt a little offended for you guys because you guys don't get mentioned. You get mentioned very briefly. One of the things he does mention is that you showed films at Ken Jacobs' loft. That Ken Jacobs became kind of a mentor to everybody because he would run these films that were being seen nowhere else down on Fleet Street in New York. It was like lower down near the South Street Seaport or something.
This was the whole start.
Yeah.
This was the whole start. Bob Cowan, who is one of the main actors in Sins of the Flesh and Parades,
right.
He said, "Look, there's people that get together now that cameras are available now. You could buy a camera and you could pick it up and make a movie. But people were doing it now not to record birthday parties or whatever, but to actually, some were painters and some sculptors, but are actually trying to get their ideas that they do in paint or sculpture onto using a movie camera as a form, a medium in which to either express themselves or manipulate imagery and form, So he said, look, once a month this is happening at night. And George and I went and we brought a few of the films that we were doing. And the people that were there, some of the stuff, was not that good. But some were, interesting experiments. But they liked my brother and I movies. Ken Jacobs liked our 8mm movies that we brought to this event, this happening that happened once a month, where people were using the camera it was as a further extension of expression, or you could call it an art form or something, But they liked my movies, and so Ken Jacobs said, "Look, we know a writer who writes for the Village Voice. That was Jonas Mekas. Next, Ken Jacobs was going to invite Jonas Mekas in the next meeting, and he wanted to have another film session and mostly focus on my brother and I, our movie. So we went back there, and Jonas Mekas saw our movies, and he liked them very much. He said it was La Dolce Vita in the Bronx. He liked the cast. He thought they were very sexy. And what we were doing, how we were using it with the camera and making these movies in the Bronx, and finding these people that are, just different, it was something. So he wrote a very lavish article about our work in the Village Voice, and that started it. That began, and then people, would come see our movies. So he was helped publicize my brother and I the work that we're doing. We would continue doing it no matter what. It was our hobby. It always been a hobby. I call it a